Welcome to OSBA TV. This is the second game here at King's Christian, the first game of the night for the men. It is King's Christian taking on Lincoln Prep. Kelsey Wright-Johnson with me, my partner in crime, Ryan Greco.
Can't wait to get this one started, Kelsey. We get a competition between two very talented schools that are trying to keep themselves in the playoff race here in the OSBAs, and a lot to expect so far.
And that's kind of what we expected today from Sam Thompson of King's Christian. Ryan, we were talking before the game. King's Christian is 1-4 right now, their record so far in regular season, but we were saying that record kind of doesn't do them justice in the way they've been playing in the close games that they've had.
No, not at all. I mean, all of these games have been decided by just a handful of points. They've got the size and length advantage right now on the floor against Lincoln Prep, but of course Lincoln Prep got a few more seniors on their team. They're not going to get as rattled as easily. They know how to handle business, so very interesting matchup as we see a foul just now. Yeah,
that foul's going to go to Josh Noten, the 2019 on Lincoln Prep, and just as we're talking about records, we have a second here to talk about Lincoln. They're 2-3 right now. With a win tonight, they could move up to 500. That would be a big nod for them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a team that started out in the gate strong. They were always kind of a middle-of-the-pack team last year, but we always saw flashes of greatness with them. They were playing the eventual finalist TRC Academy right down to a buzzer beater last season. So it shows that, you know, this team can hang with just about anybody in the league. So you got to be careful.
It's 4-2 right now for King's Christian. Looking inside, that foul is going to go to the big man on Kings, number 10, Johnny Verdoliak.
And Verdoliak in that moment right there, you just got to be able to make sure you got to close them out a little bit quicker than that. Otherwise, you're going to get called every single time when you're kind of jumping over the back to try and deny.
And of course, any basketball player has heard this from their coach a number of times. Play with your feet and not with your hands. Just didn't get position there, but cleaned up on the other side. Josh Noten on fire so far in this game.
Let's talk about feet right there. Noten comes in, stays crouched, and explodes right to the rim. No hesitation. He's got that length and that athleticism. Used every bit of it there against the very big forwards of King's Christian.
There you go. Gets the steal too. Pushes it up. Wide open on the right-hand side. Tyler Sagal for 2.
You got to love Noten right now. We've seen his evolution from a shooting guard to a point guard, finding the distribution there on the fast break. Excellent find.
Sakota off the glass. No good.
Oh, wow.
Kept in. Great athleticism there by the Huskies. Here's Cato. Noten gets it out. Sagal now reverses it. Right back to Noten, releases for the 3, no good.
Can't get mad at that though. He gave up an open look, tried to move it around, but then he was able to reset himself, get himself ready for that shot. He's just got to knock that down consistently now.
Almost 2 minutes now into the first quarter, Ryan. The leading scorer on King's Christian has been rather quiet. Here he is, Coleman Stuka, just as I say it, puts up the 3. It bounces around a few times and it just doesn't fall. Blake Anderson attacking him, and I think that foul is going to go to Stuka.
And yeah, we're going to talk about Stuka for a second here because, you know, we were just talking to some of the guys, of course, working here on the OBAs as we were setting up in the OSBAs. Just been talking about how this guy's just been balling out right now. Just a very impressive start to the season. He's doing what we kind of were predicting from last season. We knew he was only going to get a little bit better, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. But just the intelligence, the way that he chooses his shots have been one of the more impressive things we've seen. And that's also to be said as well here for number 1 for Lincoln Prep at the line right now, Blake Anderson. He's another one of those guys that's just finding ways to be effective both inside and outside of the arc so far this season.
Lincoln Prep now takes the lead 7-4, just under 8 minutes left to go in the first. Here's Sakota up to Hayho. Or Thompson, excuse me. Stuka down low shows he's not just a shooter, Ryan. A beautiful hook shot for his first 2 brings his team within 1.
Excellent decision. Knew the defender closing out on, gives him a little shove of the hip, and then creates the space he needs, goes up and shows off that length. Very impressive finish under the basket. Oh, wow.
Beautiful pull-up there by Lincoln Rosebush, one of the leading scorers for Lincoln Prep.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys that we're going to need to see a lot of that from him, both inside and behind the arc. Both of these teams, that's something that both of their forwards can do. They can step it out and hit it when they need to.
Verdoliak gets it out to Manella. Right into the hands of Lincoln Sagal. They find Noten up top. Once again, get it into the hands of Sagal off the back rim. It's knocked out of bounds by Lincoln. Kings Christian ball on the sideline.
Yeah, Kings Christian, unfortunately, a bad turnover there. Manila, he's got to try and avoid those cross-court passes. There's just too much length on both of these teams for you to ever risk that on the offensive end. Just try and work it around the perimeter. Eventually, you're going to find somebody. Especially once you've passed that ball, you got to be moving somewhere else. Let them know you're open either in the back door or you're trying to find some open space behind the arc. That's what he does best.
Thompson up top. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Luka Sakota drives with the inside arm, puts it up off the glass, and again, they are within one. Noten on the other end, though, looking to change that. They swing it all the way around.
Not a bad idea, but
there's going to be no over and back call there. Referee's going to let that one go. Noten goes up and under. It's good for two.
I think that was the most impressive finish I think we've ever seen Josh Noten on a game of the week ever put together. That was something pretty right there.
He just kind of hung in the air.
Yeah, that was a Kyrie Irving finish right there. Up and under, high off the glass.
Is he wearing Kyrie's too?
Maybe. Oh, wow.
Beautiful, beautiful finish there by Verdoliak.
Yeah, you just got to love both of these teams. They're just so well polished.
Segal into the hands of Manila. Steps out, or it touches the back of the backboard there. It's going to go right back to Lincoln Prep. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Just under 6 minutes left to go in the first. Lincoln leads by 1. Segal up top.
Oh, shooter's
That
route.
is a definition of shooter's roll right there.
Great closeout by the Kings defender there. You could tell it kind of affected his shot a little bit, but just enough. That's why you got to get that backspin, kids, because things like that might drop for you.
Verdoliak tries to go back-to-back. That one no good. Stuka in the mix, can't pull it out. Rosebush to Noten. Noten gets it over to Anderson. That one just short. Cato cleans it up.
Great finish there by Cato. And Verdoliak, he's going to, you hope to see a little bit of a mean streak in him if he's going to attack the basket like that. He had space to throw a jam down there. Let's see if he can try and work on that a little bit
Someone's got to get him mad.
Yeah.
Sakota wide open on the left-hand side. Makes that one almost look way too easy. I want to know that play.
And Verdoliak got physical there, though, and set a great screen. So there you go. Makes up for it right away.
There's going to be a foul there, though, on Verdoliak. And it's going to be Huskies ball on the baseline. They lead by 4 right now. The biggest lead, Ryan, they've had so far this game.
Yeah, and I'll say this right now. It's Lincoln Prep doing an excellent job here of making sure that they're not getting themselves involved too deeply into these mismatches, because there's only once here where we've seen Verdoliak get isolated on the post on the strong side, and he made it look extremely easy finishing the basket there. But ever since then, there hasn't been an opportunity as he's now coming off just because of that foul that he just picked up. They've done a great job of managing those little mismatches by staying aggressive.
2 substitutions into the game for Lincoln Prep. Josh Primo enters the game for the first time, and Kings Christian, John Lewis Morvan for the first time. Manila.
Manila's got to feel good about that one. Stares down his defender a little bit, showing a little flavor.
Flava Flav. Rosebush. A beautiful up and under, wraps his lead leg around the defender's hip. That is textbook what coaches teach you. Goes up and under, puts it in off the glass, has a chance now at the charity stripe for 1 extra.
How impressive is that, Kelsey, to not only take the contact by getting your opponent off the ground, but also having the wherewithal to maintain your focus by finishing at the rim. That is just something that is so difficult for a lot of these guys at this age to get down consistently, especially a guy who's more known for the outside shot than it is, and his post defense than he is known for his work on the inside. Excellent finish, excellent growth we're seeing from Lincoln Rosebush.
On top of that, sinks the extra.
He did.
Thompson, just long.
Oh, wow. One more pass.
Noten into Rosebush. Finds the outside man, and Primo, it's just off, and Morvan picks up the board.
And Tyson Cato there, he's got to cut a little bit quicker on that backdoor. Let him know you're open for the easy layup.
Sakota now at the 45, 13 seconds on the shot clock. A beautiful crossover finds Thompson, but it's swiped away by Cato.
There's Cato.
Good rebound there by Noten. Tries to get the space there, blocked by Thompson, but he steals it right back. Morvan gets a hand on it. Kings Christian eventually comes up with that one. 20 seconds on the shot clock now. It's Sakota.
Great defense by Kings Christian there.
Back up to Sakota. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Out to Manila. Great defense here by Josh Noten. Really buckling down. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sakota's got to put it up. He does from the top of the three. It's off the mark. Stuka keeps it in to Morvan. What a pass.
What a pass.
Right back to Stuka, and he puts it in for two, and he's going to go to the charity stripe, Ryan, for an extra point.
And you know what's crazy? The thing I'm actually not most impressed about in that entire set of Coleman Stuka there, it wasn't necessarily the save, and it wasn't even the drive to the basket. It was his ability with only 5 seconds remaining, understanding the importance of getting his point guard open for that shot at the top of the key there. Keeping the play alive after the fact as well was impressive, but just making sure he set that strong screen to not allow the defender to get around him. It's those little things that keeps allowing teams to get those open looks, and later on in the game, that's the kind of shot that Sakota is going to knock down. And that all happened because of Coleman Stuka's physicality.
We're seeing a little bit of last year's Stuka, actually. You know, he had those spouts where he was hot and he was a little bit cold, and he started the game a little bit cold, like for him, and I don't doubt that the hot will come in the next couple quarters, but what he does when he's cold is everything else.
Yep.
He does all the hustle plays, all the 50-50s. He is charged with the offensive foul on that one. What a finish. We'll say on a side note, but he's that player who does everything else to help his team. He goes for rebounds, he goes for the 50-50s, he gets great passes. Like he will start to get hot. I don't want to jinx anything in the next couple quarters. And that kind of hustle, it's not going to go away, and that's just the player he is.
Well, he's developed a little bit more, right? And, you know, he's always had that aggressiveness of him. There's a missed shot.
That one just short. Thompson pulls down the board. Now a fresh shot clock for Kings Christian. They're down by 1. Over to Stuka. Stuka looks to turn the corner. Behind the back, he loses the dribble, but there's going to be a foul called there. That one's going to go to Tyler Sagal of the Huskies.
Sagal, though, I thought he did an excellent job staying in front of Stuka there, anticipating the shoulder move as he was going to the basket, stepped right in front of it, and Stuka had to go behind the back and kind of lost it there. I think that was some great defense, to be honest.
Thompson up to Manella. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Manella gets it to Stuka.
Oh, there it is.
It's knocked away. Sagal going to get some revenge. Goes up, and it's good as they both hit the floor.
Excellent find there. How impressive was that, Kelsey?
That was a beautiful finish. Sakota now to Thompson. Thompson, a little pump fake underneath is good. Gets the defender straight up and out of his way. Again, down by 1. They just can't seem to get past that kind of one hump, Ryan.
Yeah, it just... You know what? That being said, though, both teams looking very efficient on the offensive end right now.
Lucas Sakota is going to get charged with that foul. That's one of those fouls that you don't like to see called against players. Of course, it's the right call.
Yes.
But, you know, kind of just falling out of bounds. He didn't really have control of that one.
No,
but, of course, the right call. And it's going to send number 4, Josh Primo, to the line for 2 shots.
Primo, another one of those new additions here for Lincoln Prep this season. Trying to find his place in the rotation, but even just after being newly acquired, just 5 games into the season, already getting some important playing time here in this first quarter, final 2 minutes, doing his part. And when you got new guys that can come in and they can contribute right away in the way that he is, you always know your program's in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
Says a lot about the kind of kids that Lincoln Prep can recruit and bring in.
We're under 2 minutes now left to go in the first. 23-20, it's Lincoln Prep over Kings Christian. Morvan up top. Manella, beautiful play, finds him open.
That was just great offense. It was good defense, but even better offense.
Very well executed. That flex screen, I'm going to say confused Lincoln a little bit down there. It must be the first time they've ran that tonight. Approaching the 1:30 mark. Morvan is charged with that foul. And, of course, we're in bonus. Primo goes to the line one more time for 2 shots.
There it is, as Coach Knight here is going to bring over the Huskies for a quick impromptu timeout, if you will, as Primo takes makes his second trip to the line, taking his 3rd shot right now. Yes, rolls it in for the 3rd straight time. And that says a lot, though. You see off the first step, lightning quick, going to the basket. You see the hand was right on him, an easy call for the referee. And he's making his bread and butter right now is at the line, Kelsey.
Of course, and when there's over a minute and a half left to go in the first, and you know you've got 2 shots every single call, you got to keep driving.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see if they give it back to him again for the next offensive possession.
Here's Sakota now for the Cavaliers. Over to Stuka. Stuka to Morvan. Morvan back to Manella. Chucks it up. That one's no good. Primo with the board.
Tough shot by Manella there.
Anderson, a nice take.
How
I think
impressive.
Stuka is going to get charged with that foul.
You could see the bench here getting up and very excited for the second unit here. They're leaving quite the impression now, not just holding on to the lead, but extending it, getting trips to the line, making all the right plays right now. Kings Christian.
Stuka's got 2 fouls now, Ryan, so he'll sit for the rest of the first quarter as Blake Anderson, he takes his first of 2, or second of 2, excuse me. Just over 1 minute now left to go, Ryan. Luka Sakota. Guarded closely by Blake Anderson. You can see him getting frustrated with the small hand checks here and there. Verdoliak puts it up for the 3. It's no good.
Great board there. Not a bad shot by Verdoliak either, though. Gets it open. He's got to just keep shooting that one if he gets it.
About a 30-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Skandrea just long.
Skandrea there. That's a bit of a heat check. What a way to kick off your night. Taking a shot from the volleyball line.
A 10-second difference now, Ryan, between the game clock and the shot clock. Sakota, he's got 7 seconds to put something up. Attacks his defender, puts it up and over. Let's talk about that play for a second. He knew that he was going to get that foul call, able to reach his arm around one hand and kind of chuck it up with a finger roll. He knew it wasn't going to go in, but he's like, I got to get the shot off because they're not in bonus yet.
Well, he understood who was guarding him. He had a smaller defender with a smaller length on him, so he made a point to attack the basket, had an open lane when he saw it. His teammates did an excellent job of kind of spacing out and understanding that, you know, if there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock, we got to make sure that we're going to be in position to take an open shot if we can. And Sakota just doing it himself and attacking the basket. Unfortunately, misses that first free throw.
Yeah, Sakota's got 5 inches on defender Sammy Jahan.
Yeah, and when you have that kind of thing going for you, that's what smart players do, though. They work any advantage they get, because there's a foul. But
that's just going to be an out of bounds.
But that's one of the more important things in high school basketball, Kelsey. A lot of guys will sometimes not realize in the heat of the moment who's guarding them. And just recognizing that, or recognizing what your teammates can do, means everything.
Here's Primo now.
Ooh.
The 2021 gets the shot at the last second. And that's going to be it. At the end of the first round, it's Lincoln leading the way 27-22.
And I'm going to say, I think the story so far in that first quarter was Lincoln Prep's second unit coming on, handling business, maintaining that lead. You couldn't have asked for much more if you're the coaching staff of Lincoln Prep. Maybe make a couple more outside shots here and there. But if you're attacking the ball, or excuse me, if you're attacking the rim as well as these guys are right now, you don't necessarily need that all of a sudden.
Ryan, I'm going to say, too, sticking with Lincoln quickly, I'm extremely impressed with the youngest player on the floor right now in Josh Primo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about him a little bit when he was making the line, just showing off that first step, understanding the most important thing that you kind of got to watch for with guys that are in the 2020, 2021 ranges. What kind of decisions are they making based off of the flow of the game? He understood that, hey, if we're in bonus and I know that I can take my guy on the first step and I drive right to the basket, you're going to get yourself to the line consistently. And as a result as well, he's pressuring his guys, so now he knows the pressure's on his defender, so when he has the ball, jumping passes, just making sure that you're pressuring him just as much. That momentum can mean so much at the game at this age level.
And on the other end, Ryan, I'm going to say in the first quarter, the person that I'm most impressed with right now for the Kings Christian Cavaliers is Sam Thompson doing his thing on the block.
I think one of the more important things when he gets back on the floor here for Kings Christian is going to be about seeing if they can isolate the post and let him work, because there really isn't going to be anybody that's going to match exact size for size with him. He's more of a throwback kind of post player where he's very comfortable in the post, where a lot of other players, really only maybe a Lincoln Rosebush, would be most comfortable kind of guarding him in the post. But Thompson's shown time and again so far as we start off the second quarter that he can finish consistently under the rim and get the fouls.
Completely. Kings Christian now showing a zone. Lincoln Rosebush attacking that zone with the mid-range jumpy.
I love that shot. He's practiced that shot a million times. When he has the space, he's not even thinking about it. Just dribble, release, let it go.
Sakota up top, 12 seconds on the shot clock. Lincoln looking to double. Sakota taking advantage, finds Verdoliak down the middle for 2.
Verdoliak, great patience there. Knew his guy was going to come around, waited, then attacked at the right moment to receive the pass.
Here's Sakota. Sakota pulls it out. Gabe Taniza. Taniza comes off the screen. Finds the open lane on the left-hand side. What a take.
That was brilliant right there. Wow. Recognized how much that I say this to the kids all the time. Take what the defense gives you. It's one of the most important things. He did that just there.
Here's Rochebush now up top. There's going to be a foul called there, and that one is going to go to Verdoliak, Ryan.
And Verdoliak
getting a little bit too close.
Yeah, he did. But you know what? Once you've seen the Lincoln Rosebush, how comfortable he is from the mid-range knocking that down, you have to make sure you're up in his grill like that. You can always save the hands, though. You know, you play with the body, you play with your feet, not with your hands. And unfortunately, that's one of those situations there where he just got caught being a little too aggressive on when Rosebush faced him up.
Kings Christian on a 4-0 run with those 2 layups down low. Ryan, it's only a 3-point game now. If you are Lincoln Prep, what's the adjustment?
Well, I think right now at this point, defensively, I think is the more important part. Your offense is kind of firing on all cylinders right now, clicking. It doesn't matter who's out there. Guys are making the right plays offensively. Defense is going to be everything right now because we've seen a number of easy layups under the back screen, or excuse me, through the backdoor cuts. Guys just not being able to close out quickly enough, or when they set the double teams, they're not trapping. They're just kind of standing there and letting the ball get out. If you're going to bring a double team on a guy, you have to, especially if they're inching closer and closer to that corner, you have to make sure that he's going to make a bad pass immediately. Don't wait for him to kick it out and get the chance to reset, because once that happens, now you're down playing in a way for a split second there. You're playing 4-on-5 on defense, and they're going to be able to find the open man. You can't allow a team like Kings Christian, who moves the ball extremely well and has a lot of deadly shooters, and most importantly has some polished post players offensively. You just can't allow them to move the ball freely around the zone like that.
There we go. And talking about those polished post players, Sam Thompson checks back in for Kings Christian.
I guarantee you the coaching staff recognized how well they were moving the ball there. Now it's time to move around both ways. Two-pronged attack, if you will.
Kings Christian going to stay in that zone. And Noten is going to take advantage of it. When you're a hot shooting team, they're on a hot streak right now. I don't know if zone is the best option for them, although I think a couple of their players are in foul trouble right now. They're probably trying to save them for the second half.
Well, that sets the tone right there.
Sam Thompson from the dunker spot, no good. Rosebush with the board.
Thompson's got to recognize who's on him. It was Josh Noten. You back him down and finish under the rim. You can't allow yourself to just settle for the jump shot there. He had a point guard on him. You got to back him down.
There you go, Kings back into a man. A nice shot there just off the mark. Rosebush gets the board, goes up. Hands all over him. That foul, I think, is going to go to Sam Thompson.
Excellent job there making sure that, and once again now you saw off the rotation, Thompson had no choice but to move up to try and deflect the pass and cover a man on that man-to-man off the switch. He was caught in the middle there, kind of floated out towards the foul line a little bit, and as Rosebush went up, he had to come back too late though. Didn't rotate fast enough, then he gets called with the foul.
First one's good for Rosebush. 8 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the first half. There must be some kind of music concert going on at Kings Christian tonight.
Is there?
Did you see the parking lot?
No, I didn't see it.
Holy moly.
Well, actually, no, I saw the parking lot. Maybe just people love basketball that much.
I saw a bunch of people coming in with like trombones and stuff.
Gotta love the arts.
Gotta love the sports more. Here's Luca. Sakota with the floater. No good. Morvan tries to get the rebound. It's knocked into the hands of Shamar Walker, and he puts it in off the glass to bring his team to 28.
Walker introducing himself in the game the best way possible. Just getting those garbage buckets. Excellent finish there and great awareness.
Kings Christian back in a man. Rosebush doing the same thing, except this time it's just off the back rim.
Excellent defense by Kings. That's what you want. One or two passes and early shots in the shot clock.
Sakota drives. That first step is lethal.
Yeah, he's so long, Kelsey. It's unbelievable. When he gets into that lane, forget about it. You're either fouling him or he's finishing.
Noten over to Cato. Cato dumps it into Rosebush. He pulls it out, and there's going to be a foul there.
And now you're starting to see Lincoln starting to kind of rush their passes just a little bit more than they'd like to. Kings Christian trying to take advantage of that. A quick reach in there by number 14, Mackenzie, or excuse me, no, that's Gabe Teresa. I got called with a foul there. Good awareness, though. Just kind of missed.
That one just off the mark. I think Tunisia got a hand on it there.
Yeah, great defense. That's what you want. If they're going to settle for that outside shot, just challenge it.
Shot clock didn't start in time, Ryan. They're going to take 2 seconds off. It's going to be 19 seconds on the shot clock. Kings Christian ball on the sideline, and there's a substitution in for Lincoln Prep. Rosebush is going to take a quick seat on the bench. In for him is Igor Milkovic.
I think that's a good decision right now. He needs to kind of reassess himself.
Sakota sees the light, does what he does best, drives with his whole body, lands on the floor, but it's good for 2 points. Here's Anderson on the other side.
So great at just stretching out his arm and finishing with his so far away from his body. It just that's a signature move of his at this point.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Noten finds the open man. Cato drives, dishes to Milkovic, and he puts it in.
Oh, you got to love that when your guy comes out, when your big man coming off the bench is able to finish just like that.
Wait.
6 minutes, 14 seconds left to go in the first half. Ryan, Kings Christian ball, a 4-point game. I think Kings has to just keep feeding Manila and Sakota. Here's Sakota now up top, 11 seconds on the shot clock. He comes off the screen from Hayho. Hayho's charged with the offensive foul.
Hayho there. Just seems just a little too high. The hands, the elbows, just a little too high on that one. And almost in a way, you could think that you could actually make the argument that Blake Anderson he worked that to his advantage, recognized how big the screen was, made sure he stayed low when he took it, and easy call for the referee. So good on Anderson as well to try and sell the call.
Sakota quarterbacking this team, gets it out to Tunisia. Tunisia gets it into Hayho. Hayho, he's got 10 seconds down there. Might be 3 in the key at this point, and there we go. He's going to be called with 3 on the key. Once that big man gets it down low, gotta put it up.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where don't force a dribble just for the sake of dribbling. If you have it there, and even if it doesn't feel right, just work it back outside. He was kind of putting himself in a position where he couldn't have even gotten a shot off and kind of trapped himself on that one. But we'll just mark that up to Hayho, just kind of getting into the flow of the game right now.
It's going to be an offensive foul going the other way now. That one charged to Milkovic for the exact same thing, another illegal screen.
Well, the guards are staying low right now, making sure that they're basically eating
or the
elbow.
bigs are getting a little happy feet under them.
Yep.
Manila now at the 45. Gets it to Hayho. Passes it off to Tunisia. Tunisia drives middle, splits the defenders, a couple extra passes later. Manila just off that front rim.
Love that movement. Great, excellent work. Just got to finish now. Just got to finish.
Milkovic down low.
I like that shot. That's okay. Hayho, though, with a great defense, doesn't move an inch you saw there.
Yeah, he's a solid body down low for
like
sure.
A giant fire hydrant.
We've seen Sakota do this same move over and over and over, but why quit when it just keeps working? 36-34, 4.5 minutes left to go in the first half.
It's a combination of athleticism and technique. It's very impressive.
Yeah, Sakota is playing great tonight.
There's a good take, though.
Another foul, Ryan, on Kings Christian. They just can't keep their hands off today. They got into bonus with about 2 minutes left to go in the first. They're approaching bonus now with 4.5 minutes left to go.
It just seems right now. But you know what? That's one thing Lincoln Prep has going for itself. They've got a lot of very athletic, about 6 feet to about 6'3" guards. But the thing that you kind of always got to love about those kind of guards, especially at this age, especially if they're in the 16, 17, 18 range, is the fact that their bodies are just so explosive. They're just so quick at going to the basket, and every single one of these guys is solidly built, so they're going to get the calls every single time. It's just a very, very impressive move to the basket. They know what their strengths are.
Manila in the corner. That's the second one that has just rimmed out for him. He should get, what do I say, half a point for at least each of them. There should be one more point on the board now.
There is, but there should be, but there isn't. And Manila, unfortunately, he's got to knock down those open shots. That's something that, you got to see it consistently throughout this year to give Kings Christian a chance to not just win these games, but sometimes even pull ahead in considerable fashion.
5 seconds now on the shot clock. Sakota has got to put something up. The up and under, puts it up from the top of the rim, and it's rattled out.
A little bit of a heat check shot there. Had the defender all over him. Still
he had to put it up.
Yep.
He gets the steal here. Now it's Sakota, 1 against 2. Just doesn't fall. Big rebound by Noten, and there's going to be an intentional foul there on Robert Manella.
Yeah, Manila, though, trying to stay physical, coming back on the offensive end, trying to see if there's an opportunity for a rebound there. Just couldn't put on the brakes quick enough and ends up applying right into Anderson on that one. And Sakota, though, we've said a lot of great things about Sakota. We could talk about another thing here, though, on those fast breaks. If you're seeing that guys are committing to you to the ball and you've got a teammate that's cutting to the basket already on the left-hand side, those are one of those situations where it's time to trust your teammate. You got to find him because to make that pass is always going to be faster than a step. And at this level, with the amount of skill on the floor right now around him, on his teammates, that will be an easy layup for them. And either they're going to get fouled because it's going to be late on the rotation, or it's going to be an easy bucket. And that's one of those things now. Sakota, as great of a scorer he is and as great of a distributor as he can be as well, sometimes those are those little moments where he's got to be a little bit more aware.
Well said, Ryan. And with that, it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to go back Kings Christian ball with 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half.
Here we go, Sakota. Because that's who he is at the end of the day. He is a point guard, so.
Sakota brings it out to Manella. Got to knock this one down, and he does. Shakes his head at his defender. Got to put a hand up.
Yes, he does. It's a long 2, but you got to be happy. And there's going to be an over and back on that one, Kelsey.
Yeah, Noten just can't get his feet down in time.
Yep.
That's just kind of I hate to say it, a rookie mistake.
It is a little bit, but.
By the passer.
Yes.
Kings Christian ball now. Only got front court there. Here's Sakota. Drives baseline. The reverse is beautiful. Doesn't even hit the backboard there. Just kind of bounces so softly off the back of the rim.
You just see the skill that he has, how comfortable he is with just reaching the ball out, fully outstretched arm. That is a tough finish, but he's so good at it.
This would be a big stop here for Kings Christian.
And now he's on the ground, though.
They don't get it. That was the first time that it's been tied this entire game. Ryan and Sakota holding his knee now on the ground. The trainer is seeing him. There's going to be a quick timeout for Lincoln and for, of course, the other players on Kings Christian.
Well, he's able to put weight on it, so that's a good thing. I think he got Charlie horsed. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, you see a player holding a knee, that's always scary.
Yeah.
But he's able to walk off on his own power, so.
Yeah, he does have a little brace on that knee anyway, so it might have just irritated something that was already kind of hurt.
Yeah.
In for him, of course, there's no star power lost. It's Lucas Sakota out, Coleman Stuka in for the first time this quarter. He was out with foul trouble early in the second, or late in the first, early in the second. And again, it's 40-38 now, just under 3 minutes left to go. Hayho up top, gets it to Stuka. Stuka passes off. Taniza in the corner, right back up to Stuka. He chucks it up. That is a heat check, Ryan.
Yeah, that was a tough shot, but you know what?
He's got to get going. He's got to just keep shooting. That foul's going to go to Cam Hayho. An easy one for the referees. And Hayho, it's going to send Tyler Seigel to the line for 2.
Stuka, on that three-point shot there, he kind of almost leaned into his opponent when he was letting it go. Didn't necessarily have to lean, just had to catch and shoot. But on the other end here, we got Seigel going to the line. And once again, Seigel, another one of those guys on this team that is just so good at getting to the line. Because he's got the big wide strong back. He's got that athleticism to go. I mean, once again, this entire Lincoln Prep lineup, every single one of them has the ability to put the ball on the floor and drive to the hoop. And when you have that going for you, it doesn't matter how badly you're shooting. You're always going to find a way to stay in the game with aggressive defense on the other end as well.
Talking about the other end, it's Luka Sakota back into the game for Kings Christian, and this is the first time we've seen kind of their big two on at the same time this quarter. Here's Stuka, pulls back, the 3-ball off the back rim.
Excellent defense by Noten there. Just stayed right in front of him, made him force the shot.
Noten, the pull-up floater, just long. Rosebush puts it up. I think that one's going to go to Josh Noten.
Yep.
Points at the scores table saying, you guys know that one was me, right?
Oh, goodness. The Mississauga product getting it done
Carmelo,
right
you got to give that to him. The skip pass over to Sakota. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Telling Hayho to get out. He's got the mismatch here with the post on him. Dishes out to Manella. Manella just short. Walker
surprised.
with the board.
I'm impressed Manella even got that off.
Sakota saying, okay, you're not going to do it. I'll take things into my own hands. 44-41, Sakota with the big tray.
Love it. Hey-ho, great awareness. Knows the ball wasn't necessarily for him. Wide open Sakota. Got to love when the big men are doing it as well.
Will Bazak with his first bucket of the game.
And really, I think that's the story we're kind of looking at right now, Kelsey, is this all the offensive firepower of this young Kings Christian team. They just got to try and get a couple of stops now to give themselves a lead.
Sakota over to Stuka. Stuka drives.
Yep.
Can't get it, but that foul will go to Bazook and sends Coleman Stuka, to the line for 2 shots. And Sam Thompson is going to sub in for Cam Hayho. Ryan, now we've got the big 3 on the floor for Kings Christian for a final push in the last 42 seconds.
Yeah, this is going to come down to really.
On top of that, Josh Noten takes a seat.
Yep. It's going to come down to about you're going to have 2 good stops based off of what we're seeing on the clock. And at least one opportunity is there's a timeout here, so it gives me a few more minutes to talk about this briefly.
Minutes, folks. Ryan wants to go on for minutes.
Yep, always. That's why I talk so fast sometimes. But really, 6-point game, so a 2-possession game. You're probably going to get about 3 possessions in total amongst both teams. Most likely it's going to be 2 defensive possessions for Kings Christian. So what this is really just going to come down to, the best case scenario for them, I feel like, is going to be a 1-possession game going into the half, which would always be great. The most important thing that they're going to need to remember now in these final 40 seconds is going to be the defense, because the defense right now, it just seems like it kind of shows in spurts, right? We're getting a couple of steals off of these intercepted passes, but we're not really seeing a necessarily fantastic job at closing out on the Lincoln Prep shooters when they're letting it go. And kudos goes to them, though, because Lincoln Prep, for the most part, whenever they're left alone, they're knocking down those shots. And
even when they're not sometimes.
Yes, exactly. And these are the things that Kings Christian is really going to have to necessarily be physical about and trying to get in the grill and make sure that the tougher defense is going to prevail, because their offense there's nothing wrong with their offense right now. It's working perfectly for the most part. So this is going to be the interesting factor. Can Kings Christian get a couple of stops here, give themselves possibly a tie, or down by 1 possession going into the half?
Well, the offense as well is kind of predicated around their big 2, and because Coleman Stuka has been out for most of the second quarter, I feel like they haven't really been able to kind of catch the fire that they're able to catch from beyond the 3. Rosebush tries to get that rebound. It's knocked away a few times. Eventually, Primo comes down with it. 13 seconds now on the shot clock. Rosebush with a turnaround jumper in the middle of the key.
He is so long and so athletic. He knows exactly what he's good at, especially how to go against other defenders, even defenders his size like Thompson. Just that fadeaway is so deadly.
Thompson's up top. Gets it to Sakota. 8 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds. Shot clock's gone now. Sakota puts it up. It's no good. Stuka. This one's good if it goes. And at the buzzer, Stuka puts in his first and only basket of the second quarter. Ryan, at the end of the first half, it's 49-45.
Excellent job by both teams so far. We'll talk about one thing very briefly. Moving on to the second half that Kings Christian could work on a little bit. defensively is just making sure they're boxing out more. How many second chance opportunities, not just in that last possession, but throughout that first half that we see Lincoln Prep getting those other opportunities as it comes along. But with that being said, excellent work by their best players. The second unit is coming on, playing hard defense. They've showed a lot of great defensive and offensive awareness. And then the talking points for Lincoln Prep right now, I would have to say the thing I'm most impressed by them has been their second unit coming on, making big stops when they need to, showing their ability to fearlessly drive to the basket, get the calls, get the fouls. They know that they may not be necessarily a longer team than Lincoln Prep or than Kings Christian, but they're doing an excellent job at showing their strength and their aggressiveness at driving to the basket. And that's a big reason why they are sitting on a very good lead right now.
All right, guys, 9 minutes left to go in this halftime. Go grab yourself some dinner or a drink or whatever you want to do. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back to OSBA TV. If you're just tuning in now, a little update on what's happening right now. There's a technical foul assessed to the head coach of Kings Christian. During the halftime. He got a warning early in the second, if you remember that, Ryan.
I do.
A couple comments made to the referees as they head to the change room. So they get the shot and the possession arrow is going to stay the same because that doesn't count as an actual possession change. So it's going to be Lincoln ball, and then that possession arrow is going to go to Kings eventually if there's a jump ball.
Nice find there.
Kings Christian ball now. They've got the big three. Back on. Here's Luka Sakota. Sakota finds the open man. Down low, Verdoliak for two.
Verdoliak, you got to love that. Keeps the hands high, receives the pass high, finishes high. That was perfect.
Here's Noten on the other side to Cato. Cato finds Rosebush.
Yep.
Great defense there by Verdoliak to get a hand on it.
He's starting fast, starting strong. Excellent job there. Make sure he timed the pass perfectly. Ooh, nice.
Sam Thompson, we don't call him the part of the big three for nothing, Ryan. What a move. Gets the defender off his feet with a heavy, heavy bounce or a strong bounce there. Puts it up off the glass, and they're within one. Rosebush down low.
Kelsey, let me just say this right now. I think this is some of the most polished work offensively that we've seen in a game of the week this year inside the box. It's been absolutely incredible so far. Both teams' big men are just putting on a show right now, a clinic in footwork and finishing at the rim.
There we go. Verdoliak grabs the rebound. It rattles out. It's knocked out of bounds off of him. It'll go Lincoln ball. And there's a substitution now for Lincoln as Igor Milkovic checks into the game for Lincoln Rosebush. Lincoln prep ball. Here's Noten up top. Over to Sagel. Sagel gets it to Cato. Cato finds the open lane. Can't do it. Milkovic tries to go up. It's blocked, though, by Sakota. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Noten out to Anderson.
Excellent. Oh, he's got to shoot that.
Cato now to Milkovic, the big man up top. It's just short, and it's out of bounds. Kings Christian ball, 8 minutes on the clock.
And Cato had time to get that shot off. He's got to know, and you could see the coaching staff over here on Lincoln Prep reminding him, hey, you got that shot open there. You got a green light. Find it. We had everyone closed in on Josh Noten there for a moment. He was able to find the open man. Got to knock those down.
Stuka drives left, puts it up, no good.
Excellent defense on that one.
Sagel, a nice pass there into Anderson.
It all started off with Milkovic's defense on the other end to create the fast break. Making the adjustments, Kelsey. That's how you win games, especially in the second half, making those adjustments.
Sakota drives left, puts it in, no good. Almost cleaned up there by Verdoliak. He's had two of those now early in this quarter, just rimming out.
He has. Milkovic there gambled on trying to help with the pressure, and it paid off that time around. Verdoliak has to make sure he's finishing those, though, taking advantage of the man rotating off to help.
Sagel does finish down there for Lincoln Prep on the other end. It's 56-49. They've extended that lead once again.
And that's the difference right there, Kelsey. Taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes and finishing under the rim is something Lincoln Prep has done extremely well in this game. Second chance opportunities. Kings Christian so far has not. Offense has been great with the exception of just those second chance finishes and second chance opportunities.
Coleman, Stuka.
No need for second chances there.
A nice finish there by number 15 of Kings Christian. Here's Anderson now for the Huskies.
Oh, wow.
Drops the dime to Milkovic right in the middle of the key, and he's able to finish.
Doesn't matter who's on the floor for Lincoln Prep right now. They're just cooking on offense.
Sakota gets it over to Thompson. Thompson tries to find the big man down low. Verdoliak keeps it nice and wide, and that's his third now of the quarter, Ryan, where he's just been robbed of a basket.
Oh, wow.
Stolen by Sakota. Looked like he was posing for a picture there. Keeps it in bounds. Or Stuka, excuse me. Sakota gets it over to Walker. It's blocked, but it's going to stay in their possession, and Robert Manella checks into the game for Kings Christian along with Andreas Scandrati.
Yeah, you got to feel for Walker on that one. He was in the right place at the right time. Just too many big black shirts there that got in his way.
Knocked it out of bounds by Anderson there. It's going to stay with Kings Christian. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, that really just kind of came down to some excellent rotation by Lincoln Prep. Because they showed the full rotation on the help the last time. This time around, they stayed together, got the block. And there it is. There's a turnover there, Kelsey. Once again, well, I think this might be the running story throughout this game here. It's just been the defense of Lincoln Prep has just not been allowing second chance opportunities. The first chances for Kings, when they're able to convert on those first possessions, it's a thing of beauty. They just have to kind of grind it out though on those missed shots and making sure they're giving themselves second chances now.
Scandrea up top, just off the mark.
There it is again.
The rebound is up for grabs. Milkovic gets the first rebound, and it's Kings Christian who comes down with it for the second time. Coleman Stuka, the floater, no good. He gets his own rebound, though. Couple pump fakes down low. Can't get him open enough to put it back in, and there's going to be a foul called on the play. It's going to stay with Kings Christian. That one goes against Milkovic. Ryan, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, but you know what? One thing we'll talk about here again is on that second chance opportunity for Sakota, just staying straight up. Make sure you just take the contact. No issues, no worries about it. And able to get the defensive stop there. But here's Kings Christian, opportunity now to cut down into this lead.
Coming back.
Coleman Stuka on the left-hand side. Another one just short. Noten comes down with the rebound. Josh Noten puts it up.
You got a piece of that.
And Rosebush finishes it off after subbing in less than 5 seconds ago.
You can see something we're noticing right now is that the Lincoln Prep defense, they're challenging Sakota a lot sooner now when he goes to the basket, not giving him a chance to extend that arm out and get the finish.
Manella throws up the three. It's no good. Thompson pulls down the board. A nice drop step there, and that foul goes against Andreas Scandrea.
And that's perfect. That's exactly what you want if you're Sam Thompson. If you're getting a matchup with a guy who's a little bit more known as a stretch 4/3, use that opportunity to use that footwork that you have that you're so good at in the post and creating the second chance opportunity and going straight up. Now you just got to make good on those free throws. And once again, Sam Thompson, how impressive has he been in this game and in the season so far, Kelsey? Knocks down the second one, too. There we go. Oh, what a find.
Rosebush for two.
There's Rosebush running the floor right away.
Big man is supposed to run front of the rim to front of the rim, and he did just that, and it paid off for 2 points.
They caught Kings Christian napping on that one. Simple as that.
This is the biggest lead they've had all game. Ryan sitting at 9 with just under 4.5 minutes left to go in the third. Sam Thompson, the little mid-range from the dunker spot is good for 2.
I know we said last time I wanted them to kind of drive to the basket in that spot, but this time around he had the big forward on him, so excellent decision settling for the jump shot there and knocking it down.
Scandrea just short. Manella with the board, and that foul is going to go against Blake Anderson. Kings Christian ball on the baseline.
As a coach, you'll never get mad at that ball, at that foul, because you see that he's going for the ball every single time. He saw the opportunity and tried to go for it. He's getting subbed out, but I can imagine it's definitely not because he made the wrong decision there. That was a hustle play right there. You're never going to get mad at that if you're a coach.
4 minutes left to go in the third. Nice pass there into Sakota. Sakota turns around and puts it in. That's an easy one for him.
Excellent decision there. Saw he had the smaller man. Just got himself set and centered. Realized no one was collapsing in on him in time, so was able to turn around and get that little jumper off. Excellent finish.
Primo at the 45. Scandrea now up top. Dishes it into the big man, Lincoln Rosebush. He's got 6 seconds to put it up. He does, and it's good. Verdoliak charged with the foul.
That was impressive because, to be honest, I didn't think he made the best decision going with his left hand. He had a guy there kind of right next to him. He seemed like he had a little bit more space on the right. We had a perfect angle to see it, but Lincoln Rosebush proving me wrong right there with a very, very nice finish with the left hand while taking the contact. Just, he's got one of the smoothest finishes for a big man in this league. Hands down, bar none. He's just very consistent at just about everything that he does.
Plus, his name's Lincoln, and he plays on Lincoln, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
He's probably never heard that before either.
No, I'm sure.
No one's ever brought that to his attention.
I'm sure. I'm sure not.
We should talk to him after the game and let him know.
Yeah. Odds, 5-1 that he says, "Oh no, that's the millionth time I've heard that."
I don't think so.
Oh,
Beautiful finish there by Sakota.
And Sakota there, feasting off the mismatch. A chance to extend the hand. He does.
Jahan now up top. Gets it over to Rosebush. He's wide open, Ryan.
Nice.
Pump fakes, puts it up, gets his own rebound. Just cannot put it in. It's going to stay with Lincoln Prep, 14 on the shot clock.
Maybe you see, though, the second and third efforts here by Lincoln Prep. It's just the sign of a team that understands what they are. They understand that they're not going to body anybody when it comes to size. They've got to be aggressive enough to go after it, and they do.
Jahan from a long two, That one just short. Stuka with the board.
Not mad at that one. Jahan caught it on rhythm. Leaned back a little bit, took the shot. Just got to know where he is next time behind the arc so he can make that worth 3.
Morvan drives right into the hands. Great steal by Skandrea. Beautiful pass, wow. And he gets the rebound. What a finish for Primo, the 2021.
Primo. What a name. I love it. It fits him well right now. He's playing like it.
Yeah, that was a prime time finish there. Sam Thompson on the other end goes up, gets his own rebound, can't get it to fall, and Primo pulls down the board.
Here he goes.
Look at that hesitation.
Yep.
Primo, give him the assist, Skandrea. That one just off the mark, and Stuka pulls up the board.
Here we go, though. Kings Christian now, opportunity to cut it down. Lincoln Prep, we're enjoying a 9-point lead at one point.
7-point lead now. Sakota makes it 5.
There's Sakota willing the team back, though.
Noten directing traffic up top. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Rosebush down low, being guarded closely by Sam Thompson. There we go, just cannot finish, and Kings Christian has another opportunity to cut that lead down. Sakota drives off the glass, it's no good. Lincoln Prep's got numbers now. Primo from the 3, and it's good for 1, 2, 3. Ryan, the age of this young player, I said it at the beginning after his first shift, this is the person I am most impressed with on Lincoln Prep. What a finish on both ends. The defensive end, he got a steal, offensive end, a 3, and a beautiful finish underneath with a crazy kind of twist roll off the glass.
Got the Kyrie spin, the Uncle Drew spin, if you will. But let's just talk about that last play where he gets himself in the fast break. Noten throws it just a little bit left out of him, just a little bit to the left of him. But what does Primo do? He just kind of stops it with his left hand, lets it gives it a little bounce, and he's leaning as he's going to rise up on it, just completely in rhythm. Has a defender closing in on him. Doesn't matter for the 2021. He just takes a look at the rim and goes, "Yep, that's fine." Grabs it, finishes the release. How impressive was that right there? That shot right there. And not just that, though. It creates the difference between a 5-point game and now we're looking at an 8-point game. That's huge. Excellent job by the young gun out of Lincoln Prep.
1 minute, 28 seconds left to go in the third. It's an 8-point game, Ryan, and Kings Christian just cannot get over that 1 or 2 point hump at this point.
No, it just seems like right now, as soon as they get a little bit close, you see their offense, the players kind of tighten up a little bit right now. We're seeing kind of missed layups, things that were dropping earlier in the game for guys like Lucas Sakota were at this point around. But you know what? Let's give full credit actually more to the Lincoln Prep defense on that, because they recognize the kind of adjustments that they've had to make, and they've made it more difficult for guys like Sakota to attack the rim and getting those full extensions. Guys are coming in and gambling on those rotations, but it's paying off because they're betting at the same time that he's thinking to go to the rim. And more or less now what Kings Christian is going to need to do is just continue to try and find those open looks and keep penetrating. As soon as they see those rotations, take advantage of it. Right
Sakota drives. He's so good at when he grabs that, or when he gets the pass kind of cutting through the middle of the key, holds it close to his body.
Yes, he does.
When he finally has to extend it at the last second, able to extend it really far and just kisses it off the glass.
And by that point, the big man in the middle doesn't have time to react to that because he's still looking if there's going to be some sort of pass or kick out or a box out.
And Sakota's already kind of wrapped his body around the strong side. That's a big 3-ball, though, for Blake Anderson of the Huskies. Brings it back to a way bigger lead, a 7-point lead now rather than a 4.
How impressive is this from Lincoln Prep? Every time they needed a big bucket, one of the players has stepped up. It doesn't matter who it is. this entire team has been stepping up and making big shots.
Well, they've been
Gotta
stepping
love
up in like Tafari Sims is not playing, and I'd say that's one of their biggest players as Sakota steps up himself
we
and
forgot
puts
to
in a
mention
3.
that at the beginning
But
of the game.
Tafari Sims isn't playing tonight, so it's everyone kind of coming together and filling those big shoes.
Yep, absolutely.
Literally and figuratively.
Yep, everyone understanding that they got to be physical, and they're getting after it right now. It's impressive to watch.
8 seconds.
Oh, good D by Thompson.
It's knocked out of bounds, though. Sakota and Morvan, a miscommunication there, and now there's almost 3 seconds left to go, Ryan. 2.9. It should be Lincoln Prep ball.
You know, Kings Christian, though, going into this fourth quarter, they're just one good run away from being right back in this. We'll just see, to your point, Kelsey, if they can kind of get over the hump and stay loose on their offense when they're within striking distance, because we know they will be again at some point. They're just too offensively gifted.
Lincoln Prep ball. Tries to get it to Anderson. It's out of bounds. Ryan, what a turn of events. Lincoln kind of got gifted this last possession here. As
make it a one-possession game?
Yeah, there was a miscommunication by Kings Christian, and just like that, it's turned the other way. Kings Christian ball, 2.9 on the clock.
You see Anderson zigged when he should have zagged on that one, unfortunately.
Morvan puts it up for the long 2. That one is just short. Ryan at the end of the third, 72-66.
Yeah.
Lincoln Prep leads over Kings Christian.
We saw a lot of the same of last half, but one thing, once again, I'm going to bring it up one more time, is Lincoln Prep doing an excellent job of trying to contain Lucas Sakota as he's attacking the rim. The big men are making the necessary helps on rotation, coming over and challenging that shot, or the guards making sure they're staying on him and challenging him a little bit quicker at the three-point line before he was able to kind of get that first step off. On the other end, though, Kings Christian still hanging tight, a very, very valiant effort. Now they're starting to create some second chance opportunities for themselves, just have to make a couple more of them. But you gotta be relatively satisfied if you're both coaching staffs right now. For Kings Christian, you guys are showing a little bit more fight. They're continuing to finish. Their offensive efficiency has still been very impressive so far in this game. They just got to make a few extra shots now, especially when the game is close, and that's going to be the toughest mental hurdle and a very, very good test for this young team moving forward. Where Lincoln Prep, they've got to continue what they're doing. Really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When you're finding those opportunities and cuts to the basket, find them. If you're finding the open man that can knock down the 3, they've shown time and again they can knock down, no matter who it is, 1 through 5, have been able to knock down those 3-point shots with a hand in their face by just creating just enough space off of the screens. So if they can continue that while also limiting the second chance opportunities of Kings Christian, this is where the fatigue is going to come in a factor as well, because both of these teams play at a very high pace, very high level speed. 15 seconds or less kind of offense. So, but if Lincoln Prep can continue to hold off and limit those second chances, they're going to walk away with the W here.
All right, Lucas Sakota got the ball up top. He's got 26 points in the first 3 quarters. Ryan really stepped up in the absence of Coleman Stuka.
He has. He's been in foul trouble for most of this game. Wow.
Sakota drives. He's going to get Primo's going to get charged with that foul. It puts Sakota at the line for 2, and he has the chance now to bring it to 28 with 9 minutes and 44 seconds left to go. If he doesn't hit 30, I think it's going to be a surprise.
No, that'd be shocking. And, let's talk about Primo again one more time here. Just making sure he's getting a little bit of extra attention here by the coaching staff, letting him know what he needs to do next time. Yes, but he did he did something I don't think any of us were expecting, being able to reach out and match the length of Sakota when he was going to the basket there and getting the block. Even though it was already a foul, that's something that Sakota is definitely going to keep in the back of his mind moving forward.
There's going to be a foul called there on Morvan.
Good foul there.
Or excuse me, the other way. It's going to be an illegal screen on Blake Anderson of the Huskies, and it's going to go back Kings Christian.
That wasn't a reverse.
Here's
Coaching
Lucas
staff
Sakota.
not liking it.
You can probably hear it in our mics as we're sitting close to them. There's going to be
I like this
a
angle.
illegal screen the other way. Cam Hayho, he's called with the illegal screen now.
I love being down here, Kelsey. Let's talk about that. We usually don't. Usually we're up on the rafters calling games here in Kings Christian, but you get to be right next to the coaches and the intensity. You got to love it.
Primo at the 45. Gets it up to Skandrea. Skandrea dishes in
like
the
it.
dime to Milkovic, and he puts it in for 2. Milkovic now, Ryan, has 22 points.
My goodness.
Oh, Rosebush, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was like, when? I know he's had a good game, but 22?
Oh, come on, Ref. Come on. You got to see both.
Oh, Rosebush, he's got 22 points, and he's on the bench right now.
Yeah. Well, Milkovic, excellent finisher. You got to love it when the forwards can, help each other out like that. Excellent pass, excellent finish. This team is polished.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Sakota has got to do it himself.
Yep.
A clear
foul.
foul there. That's going to be an offensive foul on Sakota, just trying to get some space.
That's the
a lot
push
of his teammates right there looking a bit static because he's been the guy. He's got 27 points right now. He's been the guy kind of creating for himself. They're like, okay, Sakota, you go for it, and he's probably getting a bit tired. He hasn't subbed off this entire game.
No, it's true, and that's kind of the downside of it sometimes when you got a guy who's having such a great game. And I mean, the one time there was a couple of times there where he was trying to feed the ball to his teammates, and it just didn't look like they were ready to receive the pass because they're so used to seeing him drive. And but that's on his teammates though as well. They have to make sure they're always ready to receive the pass. It's not going to be Lucas Sakota versus Lincoln Prep. It's Kings Christian. You got to be ready.
Sakota up to Stuka. Big steal there by Primo. It's been an over and back call. Although
I was going to say
I think it was touched by Primo last.
I'm pretty sure that there was it was pretty obvious that everyone was. Nevertheless, Kings Christian, no one said it was going to be easy. 8:22 to go here. They're down by 6. They get a stop, though. They're right back in it. Short memory. You got to have that short memory in games like this. Can't let it get away from you.
Primo up to Sagal.
I like it.
Noten now pulls up. No good.
Excellent board by Stuka. That was big.
Approaching the 8-minute mark now of the 4th. Stuka pulls up for the 3. That's just the kind of 3 he likes. As soon as he spotted up for that one, I knew that one was going in. Ryan, just like that, it's a 3-point game.
Just refined. Love it. Excellent shot.
Sagal. Over to Noten. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Ooh. Woo! Woohoo! I love it. Mr. Milkovic, welcome to the game. Love it. With the Dirk 1-foot fadeaway. Need to see more of that.
He does play a little like Dirk. I'll give you that.
I'm
Fouls like Dirk, too. That one's going to go to him, and it's going to send Sam Thompson to the line for 2.
Let me tell you why I'm so excited about that shot there by Milkovic, because that is exactly what I do in
they're not calling
ball.
that a shooting foul. Milkovic, he's got 3.
Fortunately getting called with a foul there, though. But it's okay. Next man up with Lincoln Prep. They've just got that kind of team. There are no breaks. No, that's a good foul. Noten's feet were still moving.
Yeah, Noten's going to get charged with that foul. That's his 2nd foul of the game. It sends Sakota to the line. Sinks both. He's hit 30.
Yep. Very impressive outing for him in this game. You can see, though, will the fatigue be a factor going into the final 7:25 here? What haven't we said about this guy? His ability to shoot from behind the arc has been something that we haven't even seen him do yet in this game.
Sakota?
Yes. But he's been putting on a clinic at how to finish at the rim.
Yeah. Yeah, Kings Christian, like as a whole, one of the best 3-point shooting teams. But when that's not falling for them, or the defense is taking that away, they can finish just as well.
And it's going to be Kings Christian. Nope.
It's going to stay with Lincoln Prep. They're going to say that was tapped off the hand of the defender. 7 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the game.
Which I don't think anyone disagrees with. I think what they're trying to say is that Noten also got a hand on it at the last minute as well when he was reaching for it and chasing it down. But
here's Noten up top.
oh, great. Great job there.
Great hedge there by Thompson. Beautiful finish by Sagel, goes up and under about 3 white shirts. Woo. And it's a 5-point game. 7 minutes left to go in the fourth.
Don't worry, I got your back, Kelsey. You see the ball nearly ran right to us here at the commentator's desk. But let's talk about it one more time. Every single Lincoln Prep player, it seems like every single one of them have had one big shot in this game to keep them ahead. Oh, great D there. Yep.
Just stepped over the line, Josh Noten. The referee got almost down on his knee to check that one out, and it's just over. Great defense there by Kings Christian. They're going to be rewarded with the ball now, 24 on the shot clock.
And JL with the one with the stop there. Excellent, excellent, excellent job.
Thompson, the short jumper, no good. Stuka gets a hand on it, but Primo pulls down the possession.
Don't want to see him settling too much on jump shots now.
This could be a big shot there for Lincoln Prep. It's no good, and Morvan pulls down the rebound. We're approaching 6.5 minutes now left to go in the game. Here's Sakota, nice little hezzy up top. That one, no good. Noten rebounds.
You can see now we're starting to see a lot of the Kings Christians players kind of spacing out, waiting to try and take a three here, but you got to keep crashing. You got to keep fighting. You're only down by 5. You don't need to. You got to keep working.
Rosebush.
Great D.
Great defense there by Morvan. Rosebush is out of bounds when he gets his hand on the ball there. It's going to be Kings Christian ball on the baseline, Ryan. They're the 5-point game right now. Kings Christian, you got to start putting points on the board.
Well, let's talk about number 11 here, JL, with 2 impressive and very important turnovers for Kings Christian. First one on Noten, second one there on Rosebush. Just never giving up on the play, never giving up on the ball, but most importantly, staying disciplined, defending with his chest and his legs and his footwork as opposed to just reaching in randomly with his hands. Excellent, excellent job. He's clapping loud, he's screaming, he's trying to get his team more motivated and back into it. You just got to love seeing that from a guy who's coming off the bench and playing hard.
Kings Christian finds the open man. Sam Thompson puts it in for 2 points.
And that's what I want to see him doing almost every time now. Just trust
that's
your
great
footwork.
Patience there too.
Yep.
But on the other end, Sagel for 1, 2, 3 takes it right back, keeping it at a 5-point game. Lincoln showing his own.
Gotta have the hand up. Oh, there it is.
Sam Thompson, the extra to Morvan off the glass for 2.
That's okay. He'll live with it. Everyone was mortified there for a second because he had no one there. He could have just jammed it down, but trust his teammate, and JL gets some hard-earned 2 points.
He's trying to get the triple-double tonight. Get one more assist on the board. Rosebush goes up. That one, no good.
Thompson, great job. All over Rosebush on that one, not giving him anything.
Sakota out top. I like this matchup between Sakota and Noten.
Yep.
Sakota turns the corner. Gets it to Morvan, kicks it out to Manella. That one could be worth 3. It's no good. Rosebush.
That's a tough one to miss there, but Manila, you know he'll come right back and shoot it again.
Here's Sagel now.
A little mix-up there.
Gets it over to Primo. Primo sets up from deep. It's no good. Stuka, one of the most dangerous players on the fast break. He gets stripped by Noten. Great defense. It's going to stay with Kings Christian, and Lincoln calls the timeout. Ryan, 80-77, the closest it's been all of this last period. What does Kings Christian credit that to?
I think at this point it's just not allowing any second chance opportunities by Lincoln Prep. Lincoln Prep has held on to this league because they've been hitting transition threes. It's simple as that. Anytime that they're going into the paint right now, they're being contested. You're seeing the kind of second win right now from Kings Christian. I think nothing was more evident than when you saw Lincoln Rosebush there, seeming like he was going to get another one of those little hook shots, but Sam Thompson was not having any of it. He was playing physical on him, chest to chest or chest to shoulder as soon as Rosebush received the ball there. He wasn't waiting for Rosebush to go up for him to just try and go and contest the shot. He was going in trying to strip that ball when Rosebush was going up, and as a result of that, but keep in mind though, he was pushing him with his chest ball, keeping his hands straight up as well once Rosebush actually went up for the shot and was able to make that shot go a little bit short. and just the combination of that plus staying aggressive on the perimeter. That's been their one downside, though, is they just have not been able to get a hand up in time on these Lincoln Prep players. Now, if you're Lincoln Prep, yeah, you've got the lead, but I don't think you want to rely on the three-point shot as much as we've been seeing it in this fourth quarter. We've been seeing a lot of transition threes, as I said, not meaning to repeat myself, but if we're looking at some hesitations now, maybe cut out, clear out, maybe give a guard a chance to attack the rim and get fouls again like they were before, I think that would be a much more sound offensive scheme right now.
Body, body.
A foul is charged to Lincoln Rosebush before they're able to get it in possession. It puts Verdeliak at the line for 2 shots. Ryan, they're now in bonus for the next 4 minutes and 35 seconds. This is the second quarter that they've even hit that bonus mark, and that first quarter was with 1 minute and 30 left to go. Now they've got 4:35. Every foul from here on out, they're going to go to the line, and for one of the best shooting teams in the league, it's going to be dangerous for Lincoln.
Oh, absolutely. And once again, though, they got to limit the second chance opportunities. If they can do that, because that's where all of these fouls are really coming from under the basket. They can limit that, they're going to be fine.
Great defense here by Kings Christian. Noten drives. A beautiful take high off the glass on the left-hand side. What a finish.
Excellent finish. We haven't seen him do that since the first half, but he picks and chooses his spots. That's just a sign of an old head right there, figuring out what he needs to do, what his team needs from him.
Stuka chucks up the 3. It's off the back rim. Verdoliak with the rebound. Noten in the right place at the right time. Rips it out of his hands to grab the rebound. Anderson chucks it up from beyond the 3, and it's good.
You can't get mad at the defense there by Kings Christian. I honestly thought that ball went through Sakota's hands. What a shot by Blake Anderson. How impressive was that?
Here's Morvan now for Kings Christian. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Verdoliak over to Sakota.
Yep.
Sakota goes up off the glass. It's good for 2, and he goes to the charity stripe for 1 more. Ryan, it's a 5-point game. He has a chance to bring it to 4 with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left to go.
He's just willing his team on right now at this point. Just an excellent decision there. We've said a couple of times here, maybe it's time to kind of distribute a little bit, but on that specific location, that specific play, Lucas Sakota made exactly the right decision, recognized that he had a little bit of space to the basket and knew that no one was going to be able to rotate in time and was able to finish. Excellent finish.
Noten loses his dribble, gets it over to
He
Sagal.
checked.
Sagal chucks it up, and it's good. This team just caught fire from beyond the 3.
I don't know what to say. They're living by the 3 right now, and they're eating. They're eating right now.
Under 3 minutes left to go. Kings Christian got to get a couple more points on the scoreboard, and they got to get some stops. I know it's a very obvious statement. It's going to start with the stops with this possession here. If you're Lincoln, it's going to be a big bucket to bring it now, to almost 2-digit lead. Here's Cato up top. Over to Sagal.
Great D.
Sagal turns the corner, tries to split the defenders there, but great D by Morvan.
Morvan, give him another steal.
Sakota turns the corner over to Stuka. Could be a big bucket. Stuka puts it in, and Lincoln Prep calls the timeout. Ryan, back to a 4-point game, 88-84. 2.5 minutes left to go.
J.L. Morvan with another steal. Great defense results into easy buckets on offense, but that shot by Stuka was not an easy shot. Hand right in his face, lets it fly anyway, and because of that, it's now only a 2-possession game. What
I always loved those corner threes, though.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, he's been setting up there for the majority of this quarter, kind of waiting for his opportunity to get a shot off, finally gets one, and that's how you make the most of your opportunities. As this really has kind of been Sakota's game offensively, but when you can find the open man like that, and he can hit a shot with a hand in his face closing out like that, my goodness, this has been a fantastic game to watch so far, Kelsey, and I'm hoping a lot of the fans at home right now are well entertained, because we are in this building right now. That's for sure. It's going to be quite the finish. Either way. And now this is going to be it here, though. Can Kings Christian, we've seen it before, 1 to 2 possessions. You see everyone kind of starting to get a little bit rigid on that offense. Let's see now if they can loosen it up, find the open man, make the right decisions either under the basket or on the perimeter, give themselves an opportunity to steal one here on the home floor.
Noten directing traffic for the Huskies. Gets it out to Segal. Into Rosebush now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rosebush squares up. That one just off the back rim, and Morvan with the rebound.
He's shown time and again he can knock that down, so you can't get too mad at that shot there by Rosebush.
Sakota out to Stuka from deep. That one's just short, and Rosebush pulls up.
Not the shot you necessarily want to settle for with this kind of time left in the game. Almost feels a little bit like a waste of possession, but we'll see if Kings Christian, no, this is what's going to come down to, the defense.
Noten, a little hezzy up top, the up and under off the bottom of the rim. Manila comes down with that one, and there's going to be a foul on Rosebush, Ryan, and it's going to bring Manila to the line for 2.
Excellent job.
Or sorry, that foul went to Tyson Cato.
The hands in there. Manila holds possession. Make sure he's fighting for it. And you gotta be smart. If you're Cato, you're up by 2. You're up by 2 possessions. You've got 1:30 left, and you've seen that these guys are kind of at this point now where they seem to be settling a little bit for the 3-point shots. It's not worth fighting for it on that specific situation. Just get back on D, guard your perimeter, and more often than not, you should be okay.
2 points, 88-86. Doesn't get better than this. It's a big possession for either team. It would be a big bucket for Lincoln, also a big stop for Kings Christian. Anderson gets it into Rosebush. Verdeliak gets a hand on it. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, big block.
Verdoliak with the block, but a big steal there for Rosebush. He gets another chance at it as well.
Yeah.
And is called with the travel.
It is. He got bumped in by Cato. Cato telling him, my bad, as he stumbled a couple of steps before he went up. Very easy call by the referee. Now Kings Christian, another chance here to either take the lead or tie it up with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, it's another gifted possession to Kings Christian. Yep. Exactly 1 minute to go now in the 4th. It's Sakota up top. Sakota picks up his dribble, gets it over to Stuka. Verdoliak. This would be a long 2. It's short, and Rosebush pulls up the board.
Don't want to settle for those jumpers. Keep moving the ball around. Someone get to the basket.
And they're in bonus, too. I mean.
Yeah.
Anderson.
You're getting the call.
Tries to get it into Rosebush. 10 seconds, Tyson Cato. It is going to be a foul, and Cato's going to go to the line for 2. That one goes to Morvan.
JL Morvan there. Unnecessary foul, though. I'm sorry. I love the way this kid plays. You can see him. He's involved in almost every single turnover, every single opportunity. That was a necessary foul.
Cato can't
now
connect.
It's a good foul.
And it's going to stay a 1-possession game, whether he makes this one or not. 35.7 on the clock. That one, no good. A big rebound there by Sakota.
It went from a good foul to possibly a game-saving foul.
Sakota drives middle, splits the defenders, goes off the glass, and it's a tie game. 88-88. Lincoln Prep, I think, is going to call the timeout. Ryan, how important was that move by the game-saving Luka Sakota?
Let's make one thing clear right now. Sakota, here's the thing that's most impressive about that take to the basket. He wasn't necessarily looking for the foul. He was just thinking about the bucket. He was just, you could see it in his body language when he was in midair. You could see he was trying to go and finish. He wasn't waiting for someone to hit him. He just went straight towards the basket, got a little bit of contact in between. Could have been a 50-50 call either way, but he wasn't waiting for a whistle. Just went and finished and played all the way through. And as a result, his team now is tied up, and they have a chance to come away with the win tonight with just 1 possession left if they get a stop or possibly send it into overtime.
All right, guys, this is your last chance with 26 seconds left to go grab yourself a drink or a snack. We'll be back after this quick timeout. Welcome back to OSBA TV. 26 seconds left to go. 88-88 here at Kings Christian. And just in case you think this game is going to go extremely long, each coach only has one more timeout left.
So it probably will.
Josh Noden up top. Lucas Akota, he's going to be charged with the foul. And Ryan not in bonus yet, so it stops the clock. And it's going to be Lincoln ball on the sideline. 15.1 seconds left to go. Ryan, if you're Lincoln right now, who are you going to?
Any of them. They're all hitting shots. I don't usually say that, but it's true.
Ten seconds now. Josh Noten turns the corner, gets it into Tyson Cato, and Cato puts it in. Ryan, he'll go to the line to make sure that it is a 3-point game with 4.3 on the clock.
Thing I love about that play right there, Cato went up as high and as hard as he possibly could have. If they had given him a free look, he would have slammed that right down, but still stayed with the body control after getting hit by two very big forwards from Kings Christian. What a finish from Cato.
Cato can't connect, and that might be a good move for him, Ryan.
Here comes shot.
Sakota
Nope, not in.
puts it up, and it's no good. Ryan at the end of this one. It's 90-88. Tyson Cato wins the game for Lincoln Prep, and unfortunately, Ryan, another close one for Kings Christian. Lucas Akota ending with 35 points. You can't give much more than that.
No, you really can. And once again, this one's just going to come down to one team taking advantage of the second chance opportunities and knocking some big threes in transition in that fourth quarter, and another team, doing almost everything right. Just maybe a roll here, a roll there. There's really not much more you could say about the effort Kings Christian put together. Such a solid team, and you gotta feel for them, because the 1 in 5 is just not accurate. I mean, I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of teams on the showcase circuit that are going to look at Kings Christian in the regular season record and think, oh, it's an easy win, and then end up getting blown out by 20, because this team is that talented at what they do. And unfortunately, once again, another MVP-esque performance by Lucas Sakota, another fantastic effort by Sam Thompson down in the post, and everybody else playing hard on Lincoln Prep. J.L. Morvan with some huge defensive stops on Kings Christian. J.L. Morvan with some huge stops near the end there, causing some turnovers, keeping the team in. But Lincoln Prep just was able to keep it together right down to the very end on that one. Just what a game. What a game.
And it's so funny that you were saying, I would go to any one of these players because they're all hitting. They go to a player that has
He's in single digits, not taking
he's
many
had a relatively
shots.
quiet night. Tyson Cato, I mean, they go to him, and look at that,
and there's
wins
the game. Every single one of these guys knows they're a part of this team. Everyone gets their minutes. Everyone plays their share, and because of that, you really see a veteran team here that knows what they are, and they did that to a T. And now let's make one thing clear though. Kings Christian really turned on the defensive pressure in that fourth quarter, but at the end of it, when it was all said and done, Lincoln Prep doing what teams that are trying to make a statement and are trying to make that push deep into the playoffs do. They win the tough games. They win those kind of games when things may not even be seeming to go their way near the end there. They hold on, and just a very impressive performance by both teams overall.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to the OSBA Game of the Week. We'll see you next time.
Take care.